Lo mein is a Chinese dish with wheat flour noodles, but you can make it even healthier using spaghetti squash as the noodles.
Very excited for this. Chef Randall, good to have you here, buddy.
Thank you much.
I know you want to just get going.
Yeah, he's like,
we can't dilly-dally. The thing is that when I was talking to Chris earlier about what I was going to do today, in that one of the things that we think about when we do squash, we kind of have our ways of doing it. My mom used to take acorn squash and cut it in half and then bake it with a little bit of butter and brown sugar in there, and it was very good. It was kind of like a standby. But I've been changing my diet a little bit, and I've been trying to lower the amount of carbs I intake, and then thinking about how can I use things that are seasonal right now. And then I thought, well, it would be kind of fun to maybe do like a pasta but that's so foreseeable.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's kind of change this up a bit. So I'm going to have you help me here. We're going to start out with some garlic and some ginger, and we're going to just kind of cook that a little bit until we get some color. Yep. And then we're going to add in some goodies. So here I have bok choy and some green onion and some pepper, and then I have some shiitake mushrooms. So I'm going to see a little color going on there. Now I'm going to add all that in there.
Nice.
And I'm going to add some shiitake mushrooms in there. So now this could be any kind of vegetable combination that you want. If you wanted to use onions or whatever, that would be fine as well. So the idea of stir frying is having a hot wok, and then we're cooking the vegetables in a high, quick way.
Okay.
It's certainly not we don't want them to sweat that water out and boil. That's really kind of what we don't want to do. And the wok is designed for that kind of purpose. It's boil, it gets hot quick, it cools off quick.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it's really nice. So now here I have our sauce mixture, and this is stock with some cornstarch and some sherry wine or shousing, which is a Chinese rice wine. And then here I have a mixture of oyster sauce, and hoisin sauce, soy sauce, and sesame oil. Now, if I was going to do an unflavored pork or chicken, I would take a little bit of this and kind of toss it with the cooked pork or chicken. But since I'm using a Chinese pork, this is called char siu, and it's already seasoned. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring these two together, and this is going to be our flavoring. Now our noodle, quote unquote, is our, Chris, do you want to grab that squash there? This is a spaghetti squash. Now,
it's starting to stick.
Christy, now scrape the bottom then. There you go, good. Christy had talked about how she cooked her spaghetti squash, and that was put in the microwave a couple of, prick it, put in the microwave, soften it, and then cut through it. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but squash are heavy.
They're hard.
They're hard, and they're scary to cut. So my suggestion is that I love that softening it a little bit so that you can get through it. And it's one of the things that I show my students right off the bat is whenever you're cutting something that's hard and heavy and big, you want to be very, very careful that you are paying attention. Now we're going to add our pork in. And I usually have our bigger knife, and then I put my hand on the one side and I drive the knife through. But the microwave aspect, the one is a really great way to soften that prior to going in there because it is very dangerous. All right,
how do you know the pork's done? You just kind of let
the pork is fully cooked. All I'm trying to do is heat it up now.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
It's pink. I like it.
Well, and that's that Chinese barbecue pork. All right, let's put about half of that in there.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
So once the squash,
you're there like hustling.
I actually steamed the squash, and then we kind of shred it with like a fork. You could have maybe another scoop.
Okay.
My arm hurts.
Does it?
Switch?
Can we come in there?
I need help. Here,
you want to go over here?
Sure, I'll
come over.
do
Now you're a lefty, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that will work perfect.
Get in your way. But...
All right.
Scrape those sides.
We're gonna work the guns.
I know, but
so we can work the core too. Just hold it tight. Yep.
And I want to be kind of.
Whoa, you're aggressive. All right, let's bring our plates over.
Okay.
This actually looks really good.
All right, so now I want you to make a hole in the middle if you can.
A hole in the middle of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
But good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sauce and we're going to add it in there. Now we're going to let that come to a boil before you start doing anything, okay?
Let it come to a boil.
And you're not worried about stuff on the sides burning?
No, because remember, the wok is designed so that the heat is down there and then it's kind of cooler there. So then we're going to bring it in.
Oh, it's starting to boil a little bit.
Yeah, so just a little bit more. Doesn't that smell great?
Wow.
So as far as a low carb or keto, I wouldn't say that squash is probably the most keto friendly, but you know, I had a nutritionist or a dietitian that kind of is in that world tell me, look, you can never lose on vegetables. You know, the nutritional value that you get from that. Now that we have these things called shirataki, or they're like a noodle that has like 0 calories or 0 carbs. All right, now stir it a little bit down there. Now bring it all together. So you see how that's kind of thickened and everything?
Yes.
I don't know if they can get in that on that, but
It's kind of hard to see
I know
it all,
we need a, you know what we need? We need
an above camera.
Giovanna, we need a kitchen studio. Is what we need. We need
Wow.
and then I'll come more often if that's the case. But if you can see from the top. But anyways, I think that what this is it's something that's seasonal. It's something that's nutritious, and it's a different way of serving something, you know?
Yeah.
It's a different way of getting a noodle-like product into a different outcome.
You ready, Christy?
Yes.
You tell me when.
Woo.
Now a little green onion on top would be nice.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get the other plate.
And so this pork is done because I'm
I'm
a little skittish.
I know, and trust me.
Well, it's because we're not
I'm a
used to
professional,
pink.
Chris.
Yeah.
And all we're trying to do is heat it up to about 165. That's all we need to do.
Thank you.
It's pre-cooked.
Woo, that smells good.
All right, here.
I just want to
Thank you,
dig
sir.
in.
I'm gonna,
I didn't
I'm,
have breakfast or lunch
I'm gonna
yet
go from
today.
the wok here.
Okay.
Now, what's kind of interesting is when you first eat it, you get that squash sweetness, but then it's the aftertaste that kind of that you go like, oh,
Is
wow.
it super hot or am I?
See what I mean about that squash sweetness at first,
That's
but
really
then
good.
as you kind of swallow and taste,
And
it really is lo mein-y.
I like your idea about the vegetables too. High and fast.
Right.
And then they keep their crunch.
We
and they're not...
retain the highest nutritional value of that. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna try some of this pork.
Yes.
Do it. It's really good.
I'm still a little
okay. I'll
sketched out of it.
It is so
You're
perfect.
making me laugh.
Is it good?
It's really good. I've been eating the pork. I vote yay for dinner. This is definitely something added to our menu.
Now you can
At
get
home.
that pork at like the Asian market, A&A. I know they have it over there.
Yeah.
It's like a ham, and you just kind of slice it and cut it.
It's nice and crunchy with
is
the
really good.
veggies and the spaghetti.
And that's what I was worried about when you use spaghetti squash. You know, because I was talking about doing a pasta with it and things like that. You know, so if you cook it too long, it is going to get pretty mushy. So you want to, you know, and this is a great way of having that get it hot and texture-wise, but without getting it mushy. Is a stir fry.
Oh, so good. I can't stop eating it. Thank you, Randall.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm going to stay with my mouth full. He can't talk either, though.
Well, it's
We'll
great
be
to have
right
you
back.
back. I missed you.
Okay, we'll have more to come here on North Dakota today after we mow down.
Oh, you know what we forgot?